Mute yourself. Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be giving you a little bit of a speech on, wait, what was it called? Okay, it's fine. Hello, everyone. Picture this. You finally graduate high school. After all the late night studying, stressful exams, and constant pressure to figure out what's next, you walk across the stage and get your diploma. Everyone tells you this is when life really starts. You're officially an adult now, ready to take on the world. But then real life hits, and suddenly things don't feel so simple. Even though I didn't move far away for college and I still live at home, I quickly realized how unprepared for adult life I truly was. I didn't know how to cook anything beyond the basics. I had to ask how to do laundry properly so I didn't ruin all my clothes. And when it came to things like budgeting, credit scores, or taxes, to be honest, I was totally lost. Just because I stayed local doesn't mean I escaped the reality of adult responsibilities. If anything, it made me more aware of how little I actually knew about managing life outside of the classroom. That's why I believe that schools need to bring back home economics, or what should now be called essential life skills education, and not just as a one-time elective in middle or high school, but as a regular part of the curriculum from kindergarten all the way through to senior year. We need to stop treating these skills like extras and start recognizing them for what they are: essential tools for survival and thriving in the real world. Learning how to cook, clean, budget, file taxes, and understand credit, as well as taking care of basic responsibilities, shouldn't be left up to chance. These things matter just as much, if not more, than the academic subjects that we're taught because, well, they affect our everyday lives. If schools really want to prepare us for the future, they need to make life skills a priority. All of this points to a bigger issue, one that goes beyond just me and my classmates. It's not just about people not knowing how to do laundry or how to cook dinner. It's about an entire generation of students being pushed into the world without knowing life's basics. They need to learn how to live independently. We're told, grow up, be responsible, and take care of ourselves. But then no one's really ever showed us how. So let's start with the problem. Students are not only taught how to survive and thrive in the real world, but instead we learn algebra or chemistry. But it would also be nice to learn how to manage our own household, eat healthy, as well as eating on a budget. Things like fixing a leaky faucet are all such important factors of basic everyday survival. A survey by the American Council of Education found that nearly 70% of young adults feel unprepared to manage daily responsibilities. That's 3 out of 4 of us. Another study by the American Psychological Association reports high levels of stress among teens tied to their own financial worries and feelings of unpreparedness. This stress is not just emotional, it's tied directly to our physiological needs, like food, shelter, cleanliness, which Maslow tells us are the foundations of a stable life. The good news is this isn't a hopeless situation. If schools are falling short in preparing for adult life, then we need to rethink what our education system looks like. And that starts with reintroducing the life skills consistent, meaningful parts of the curriculum. It's not just about filling the gaps, it's about building real world confidence on one stage at a time. Now, let me tell you what the solution could look like. In elementary school, we could start simple. We're not going to get too overwhelming. It's just going to be age appropriate lessons that introduce basic life skills in a way that feels fun and useful. Kids could learn how to sort out their own laundry by colors, what the healthy foods actually mean and what they do for you, why keeping your room clean matters. And while these may seem like small things, they're actually going to become helpful building blocks of independence later on. Teaching these skills early on gives kids the mindset of being responsible and it being something that they can do as well as enjoy. Now, when it gets to middle school, these lessons will grow with us. Imagine classes where we learn how to cook simple meals safely, how to make a grocery list, as well as sticking to it. Things like cleaning our own bathrooms properly to help better maintain our own hygiene. Maybe even bring back sewing and basic repairs of things that used to be a part of our original home economics. But these lessons have since disappeared. These aren't outdated or unnecessary skills either. They're practical and useful. And honestly, many of us are still trying to learn how to do them now, much later than we should have. As we get into high school, the focus could then shift more towards the serious aspects of adulthood. Issues like budgeting, credit scores, taxes, leases, insurance, all the stuff that nobody really wants to know, but actually has to. The stuff really starts to matter once you turn 18. A lot of us are expected to know how to handle these responsibilities the second we graduate. But the truth is, none of us have even been taught these basic skills. If these subjects were a part of our everyday learning, we'd leave high school not just with academic knowledge, but with actual life skills and maybe, just maybe, a little bit more confidence in ourselves too. That's what Maslow meant when he talked about the esteem needs and the need to feel capable, independent, and respected. Right now, our education system is doing a decent job of helping us meet the academic goals, but is falling short when it comes to preparing us for life outside of the classroom. If we really want students to thrive, we have to be able to start teaching them how to live beyond our classrooms. Of course, not everyone agrees with this idea, and I get it. On paper, it might sound like schools are doing enough or that life skills should be learned somewhere else other than in school. But when you really think about it, the reality is what most students are facing, those agreements just don't hold up. Some might argue, isn't this what parents are supposed to teach their children? And yeah, in an ideal world, sure, that might be true. But the reality is, not every student has that kind of support at home. Some are being raised by single parents, working multiple jobs. Other kids might be in foster care or living in households where the adults themselves were never even taught these skills. We can't just assume that just because something should happen at home mean that it's actually happening. For a lot of the students, school might be the only constant place where they have a chance to learn these things. And then, of course, there's the argument. There's no time in our schedule. We don't have room. But that also doesn't quite hold up. Schools already find spaces for electives like art, music, computer science. And hey, don't get me wrong, those subjects are important and they should absolutely deserve to be there. But if we're making time for things that help students grow creatively or prepare for specific careers, we can definitely make time for life skills that every single student will need, no matter what they do after graduation. These skills aren't individualized, they're for everyone. In all honesty, and integrating life skills into schools today wouldn't just help outside of the classroom. It could actually make us better students overall. Budgeting corrects directly to math, nutrition and cooking involve science, cleaning and organizing support personnel in suit discipline, even sewing or minor repairs, things like that involve problem solving and coordination. These aren't just extra lessons, they're essential, and they actually reinforce what we're already learning in school. It's not just about adding more, it's about teaching smarter and teaching what matters. At the end of the day, the goal of education isn't just to help us pass the test or into college, it's to prepare us for life. And right now, the system is falling short. Too many students are graduating with a solid grasp of academic content, but no idea how to take care of themselves, managing their money, or navigating everyday challenges of adulthood. And that's not just frustrating, but it's also setting us up to struggle when we should be stepping into the world with confidence. Bringing back life skills and education through a modern, expanded version of home economics isn't just a nice idea. It's necessary. It's a way to level out the playing field for students who might not have a supportive home. It's a way to ease the stress and anxiety so many people are feeling about their futures. And it's a way to give us the tools we need just to survive. But it's actually building a stable and successful life and a good foundation for our future. If we truly care about preparing students for the real world, then we need to teach them how to live in it. It's time we stop treating life skills as an optional thing and start recognizing them as a foundation of a well-rounded education. Because independence shouldn't feel terrifying, it should feel empowering. And that starts with giving these students the knowledge that they deserve. Thank you.